Finally, let's look at verifying an identity that seems to involve half angles. Now, a lot of times people go in here and they say, well, the left side is definitely the more complicated side, so that's where I want to start. And that is true. You want to start on the left side. But then the next thing you do, if you get in a rush and you don't take your time and look at it, is you think, well, there's a half angle, I must need the half angle identity, so I'm going to substitute plus or minus the square root right here. There's another half angle, so I need that other plus or minus square root right there. And then you're going to have a really big mess, because all of that is still going to be squared. So let's look at that bigger picture, and let's do the algebra first. Let's square this binomial. You can put that in a box if you want to, or I think it's about time that you learn this sentence, that you square the first, you multiply these together and double it, so that's going to be plus 2 sine times cosine, and then you're going to square the last, so plus cosine squared x over 2. And you certainly don't want to start substituting in half angle identities right there as well. Again, take a step back, look at the big picture, and see if there's anything that you can identify. Well, I know that sine squared plus cosine squared, as long as the angles are the same, are equal to 1. That's the mama identity. So it doesn't matter what order I add these terms, so I'm going to circle this one, use them together, and call that 1. So now I've got 1 plus 2 sine angle, cosine angle. Don't be distracted by the x over 2's here. Those are the same angles. So look at the bigger picture and see if you see an identity that you can substitute. Ignore the 1 for a minute, and this is 2 sine of an angle. We could call that A. Cosine of an angle, we could call that A. So if we had 2 sine A cosine A, and hopefully you recognize that from our work earlier in the week, that is sine 2A, 2A. That's our double angle identity. So our A just happens to be a half angle, but that double angle identity, when I take this whole thing together, still applies. So I've got 1 plus sine of 2 times A, which is x over 2. If I simplify inside this group now, I have 1 plus sine of x, because these 2's are going to reduce. And 1 plus sine x looks just like the other side, and so this identity is verified.